Tonight on Cover Story, they are passionate about pot. 3 women who make their living selling marijuana. Each runs a business dealing with dope, but there's also dodging police pursuit, arrests, court visits, and jail time. All worth the trouble if you believe part of your job is to challenge the law. Here's Mike Henniger with Women of Weed.
Over the past 10 years, Mary Jean Dunstan has built a successful business baking ginger snap cookies.
The Great Canadian Export, whole grain, hard red wheat.
She mills her own flour.
So I bake like steel, right?
And she says she uses only the best ingredients.
5 organic free-range eggs. I'll just give you an example of what shake is. Okay?
Including this.
Here is a piece of dried sort of marijuana. Now the bud is tight, is the tight part that's close to the center. Even olden days, women would really get in there. You know, they had the big arms.
She's better known as Watermelon.
Take some shake that's been ground.
The self-professed nudist comic drug dealer.
Budbuster, very famous term now. So let's get baked and start baking. Fireman.
She sees an incredible opportunity in a legalized marijuana business.
That kiss on your face the whole time. There's a multi-billion-dollar operation for marijuana and marijuana-related products, and it's not even legal. Like, holy shit, you guys. Like, if it was legal, like, we could stand to quadruple in the first year, I'm sure.
Dunstan writes about what she knows, and she knows pot. She also knows what can happen when you get caught selling it.
Well, for many years, I was a very happy girl, and people sometimes frown upon those things. They'd be like, that girl's enjoying the shit out of herself. We gotta put a stop to that. Especially because she doesn't have any victims anywhere. We'll just make something up. So they sent 2 undercover officers down disguised as glaucoma patients.
Those glaucoma patients were undercover RCMP officers sent to bust her on Wreck Beach, Vancouver's nudist haven, which has been her pot cookie storefront for nearly a decade. It's where she got her nickname because she gave out free watermelon to the bare-bottomed kids who played on the beach.
They solicited and entrapped me into trading them some of my ginger snap cookies with extra snap. And then they came down and arrested me for allegedly trafficking in ginger snap cookies. So I just turned around because I was like, hey, everybody, I'm under arrest. And then, because, you know, it was like, that's my job. And then we had to walk across the beach. We had to walk the whole length of the beach to get my stuff and all my things. And slowly, like as I walked, this crowd just keeps gathering and people were really upset.
That arrest has made Watermelon an even bigger pot celebrity than she was before, helping to brand both her name and her cookies. She represents a change in the legalization movement, a group of people, mostly women, who aren't afraid to sell pot openly. Women who are trying to break down the stereotype of the shadowy, dangerous marijuana dealer.
I'm here to say, you know, look at me, I'm not a bad thing, and I smoke pot. I smoked pot until my court order.
Carol Gwilt was thrust into the mainstream media this fall when it revealed that she was running an Amsterdam-style coffee shop where virtually anyone could walk in off the street, fill out a form, and buy the cannabis product of their choice.
We all thought, okay, here we go. The people started coming in droves. We had over 1,000 people a day that were coming in to support us.
That support seemed to extend to some city councillors and Vancouver police who, when confronted by reporters, said it wasn't a high priority.
It's a matter which we have to prioritize based on our resources.
A week later, and after many news reports asking why the illegal shop was allowed to stay open, it suddenly seemed a big priority as balaclava-clad officers descended on the shop. Gwilt was caught red-handed with ounces of pot and thousands of dollars in cash. She ended up spending 32 days in jail, but that may end up being a short stay. She's now facing years in prison if convicted of the trafficking and possession charges against her.
It became a political statement, a show of support. People needed a place to come and vent. The media was going to be there anyways. People needed to talk about this. How you doing?
Gwilt believes that people will keep talking and she'll soon be running a legal pot cafe. She believes it so deeply that she's willing to risk harsher penalties by talking to the media again.
The time is not finished. In whatever form it can be in, it'll be. We didn't come this far to be shut down. Hi, how are you?
But the person who has done the most to clean up the image of cannabis in Vancouver is Hilary Black.
This is a herbal agricultural product.
She has helped legitimize the drug through the Compassion Club, an alternative healthcare center that dispenses marijuana as medicine. And the police have yet to shut her down.
There you are.
Like Watermelon, for example, she's, made a goal for herself, and she is Canada's pot pin-up princess, and good for her, all the power to her. But we're doing something different here.
I think I can actually shove all this into one joint.
People come to the Compassion Club who have cancer, depression, addictions. They believe cannabis helps relieve many of their symptoms. Black asks some of them to be part of the campaign to promote the drug's value.
We often will ask some of our sort of middle-aged or older women who use medicinal cannabis to get involved in the media and to advocate on behalf of cannabis, because that's not who people imagine your stereotypical cannabis user is.
Anna and Deja were the two women Black wanted us to talk to during our visit.
It took using the cannabis and changing my whole lifestyle to get me out of that syndrome. I now function, after 2 years of working with the people at the Wellness Center, without any pharmaceuticals at all.
And for me, like with my body, as it tenses up, if I didn't have the acupuncture and acupressure and all these things, I don't know, I'm a pretty strong person, but every little bit helps. So beyond just having the medicinal dynamic of the marijuana, the Wellness Center is amazing.
So, yeah, where were we?
You're a drug dealer.
I'm a drug dealer. I like to use that expression a lot, and people get very upset. They're like, oh, don't say that. And I'm always like, I say that because it sort of shows how ridiculous it is, right?
Watermelon may think it's ridiculous, but federal prosecutors clearly don't agree.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm going to get my lawyer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
She recently won the case against her for selling pot ginger snaps on a technicality.
The Crown had alleged trafficking in cannabis resin and had to establish not only that it was cannabis resin, but that it was under 3 kilograms. Well, they couldn't prove that there was any resin there at all, never mind that it was in fact resin.
It turns out that when cannabis is baked into an edible form, the resin disappears. Apparently, no one had ever challenged that fact in BC before Watermelon. Prosecutors had laid the wrong charge. The government is now appealing the decision. Watermelon is now faced with more legal bills as she works her way through college, taking courses in entrepreneurship and business ethics.
I want to pay my taxes, you know what I mean? I don't want to I would rather give all the money that I just gave to my lawyer and give it to healthcare and roads and, street lights and stuff like that. I want to do that. I want to participate, and they're not letting me participate. And they're not giving me a good enough reason why. Morally or ethically, I have done nothing bad. And there's people clearly doing that, and it's not me. And that's why I feel like I'm the victim.
Right or wrong, Watermelon and others believe they are the victims of bad laws and the heroes of a pot movement whose sacrifice will bring change.
There's a message that we need to get out there. I believe it to my core. And that's what empowers me to keep going, is that I know that this is right. I'm a working class, middle-aged woman, and I'm just trying to do the right thing by myself and by my country.
There are many different people in this movement that are approaching it from different angles, and some people may disagree with other strategies, but I think in the long run we're all moving towards the same goal.
That goal? To keep challenging the law and ultimately, as the saying goes, free the weed.
It's so funny. It's what pays my rent.
Mike Henniger, CBC News, Vancouver.